Hey, good morning, Julie. Day 6 of 10 on Jester's Redemption section hike. Day 6, you are over the hump, going back over the other side of the mountain. I am here in the beautiful Adirondack Mountains, the quiet before the storm. We're about to get 23 inches of snow over the next few days. And the trees are green right now. They're about to be very white. But a little different weather down there in North Carolina. However, the same adventure lies where you are and where I am. Getting out in the woods, which is where I am now. Hopefully you can hear the birds. Yesterday, you fought to overcome those demons that plague our mind, right? You chopped them off at the knees, though. You refused to let them win. And instead, because you've done that, because over the last 3 months, you've learned to do that. You've received the wins of being able to put those clothes on. You've done the work. You've lost some weight. You're able to now put those hiking clothes on, which was a huge deal when we first started. If you remember, that was one of the prime motivating factors for you. And look what happened. You're wearing them. You're hiking in them. Not only are you wearing them, but you're out on the trail hiking in them. Doing what Jester does. So you should be stoked on that. That's the win. On top of the clothes going on. The real win is that you are back where you want to be. You're in the woods. You're doing back to back to back to back days, times 10. So I'm proud of you. You should be proud of yourself. And remember, losing weight, as I always say, it takes longer than you expected it to take. It's harder than you expected it to be. But when it happens, it is so much more gratifying, satisfying, motivating, and empowering than you could have ever imagined. It is always worth the effort. And you have put in the effort, so you're reaping the rewards. So enjoy the day on the trail today. You're over the hump. You've already proven to yourself that you've got this. Now it's just smooth sailing. Now it's just enjoying the adventure and taking in the woods, taking in the trips, taking in what you're doing. Because you're doing a great job. Super proud of you. Keep it up. I look forward to hearing all about it. Hey, Julie, what's up? Last mile of the day. You're doing amazing. I'm sending you this voice memo because I know it will take up some time on your final mile here, give you something to do to get your mind off of the sore foot. But think about what you've done already. This is day 5. Up until 5 days ago, you had not done more than a 5-mile day in years, let alone 2 days in a row. And now you've done 5 days in a row. I mean, you're a backpacker, That's what backpackers do. So you are back. You're back. You're doing it. You're out there showing yourself and all these people listening to your podcast, showing them what you do and what you can do and what you're capable of. And you're out there doing it. So you should be super stoked on what you're doing because you're literally doing what we set out to do, which was to get you back on the trail and get you back in backpacking form. Yeah, you might not be in, that classic Jester form yet, but man, are you so much further along than you were back in December when we first talked. You are literally doing it. Instead of think about where you'd be too. 5 days in, 25 miles. You'd be 25 miles further down from the start if you were actually backpacking a trail right now. Isn't the Appalachian Trail statistic that isn't it 70% of people fail in the first 30 miles of the Appalachian Trail or something like that? Anyways, you're kicking ass. You're doing a great job. You should be proud. Yeah, your foot might hurt. It probably will. But you go home, you rest, you do the things, you do the stuff you do to get it back to normal, and you only focus on tomorrow's hike. You don't say, I got all these days left. Nope. Just got to do tomorrow. That's it. I don't got to worry about day 7, 8, 9, 10. Nope. Let me just get ready for tomorrow's hike. That's it. You're doing a great job. It's super stoked.
Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. And y'all better get ready for this one. Day number 6 of Jester's Redemption section hike. 10 days, 50 miles, 1 local adventure. And y'all, I'm telling you, I just want to scream from the rooftops. I've had clarity today. And I have carried my Seek to Do More, if you know, you know, NAB card in my hand for almost 5 miles. I had to put it in my fanny pack so I could record, but it is with me today because y'all heard 2 messages from James just now, the intro to day 6 message and a message that James sent me yesterday in the last mile of my hike. And I saved the last mile of my hike to start recording. So I am in my last mile. And so far today, I've done my warm-up mile. I've done 3 1-mile hill repeats. And I am headed back to the truck. But I also added an additional challenge today for one of our Seek to Do More members. His name is Casey Baird or Casey Bard, and he is battling cancer and just finished up 23 chemo therapy treatments. And on Wednesdays at noon in the Seek to Do More community, we do 23 of something, 23 push-ups, 23 pull-ups, 23 reps of whatever you want to do. And so I decided today for Casey that once I got down to the base of the hill, I was going to do 23 reps. So I did 23 reps after my warm-up mile, and I did 3 more sets of 23 reps. And when I get back to the truck, I'm going to do 5 more. So I've done 5 sets of 23 reps for Casey because cancer sucks. And that's what we do to support our community. So that is part of what I did today. Oh my goodness, y'all. Yesterday, at that last mile, I'm going to explain that message from James that y'all heard. I came off the rails. I sent James a text and I said, I feel like Pigpen from the Peanuts, a dust ball mess, walking back to my truck at the last mile. And I talked yesterday, y'all, about my foot. You know, it's sore, and I have this thing that I feel like when I take my shoe off, that it's going to look like it used to. And after I got done recording yesterday, of course I'm being honest, and it just came off the rails. I got tired. I got into my head. I texted James. He sent me a message, and I listened to that message multiple times, and again this morning before I started, and it's calmed me down, and I have a lot of clarity today. But before I get to that, y'all know I got to read you some of these inspirational messages. I've just got a couple here that people have sent me. So I'm putting my readers on right here in the middle of the trail. I'm going to stop and I'm going to read these messages because it's so ironic that a couple of these messages are some of the clarity that I've had. So this message is from Boots on the Trail, also known as Lee. He says, greetings from across the river. Thanks for sharing your struggles and your joys with all of us throughout your journey. There are so many of us that have our own struggles and insecurities, both physical and mental. Listening, and y'all, I'm out of breath. Listening and following along with you is an encouragement to so many, including myself. I can hear the joy in your voice throughout this series, and I don't mean the words. We honestly haven't heard this from you in quite some time. This isn't you getting back to any old version of yourself. This is a brand new you, and we're all here for it. Lee, I truly appreciate it, and I'm getting ready to talk about that here in a second. This is from Kathleen. I think this came off of Facebook. She says, listening to your daily hike has become the highlight of my day. So very inspired by your commitment and vulnerability. Hike on. Kathleen, that is what we are doing. We are hiking on. And I've got one more message for you guys. This, I just absolutely love. This comes from For the Love of Green Space, a YouTube channel. This was in my comments on YouTube. It says, thank you so much for sharing your heart, your faith story, and your struggles. Your honesty is refreshing, and you are also motivating so many others. Don't let Satan steal your joy. You start talking about your faith, and the devil paints a target on your back. But I read the book, he loses, you will win. God bless, and hike on. So let me read that part again. You start talking about your faith, and the devil paints a target on your back. But I read the book, he's talking about the Bible, people. He says, and the devil loses, you will win. God bless, and hike on. And that is what we are doing. The readers are coming off. The sunglasses are coming on. And a couple of these messages lead to some of the clarity I've been having. And in all reality, over the past couple years, my heart and soul has not been in the podcast. And y'all know that. You've heard me interviewing people. You've heard me talk about my foot. And it's been so long since I've been out on the trail, recording from the trail, that I just forgot. This is where I love to record from. This is where I feel most open. I feel most vulnerable. I feel like I could just say anything, that I'm feeling on the trail, and everybody can relate to that. The trail provides every single time. And it doesn't have to be a major long distance trail. I am having so much clarity in my local nature preserve. Listen, I challenge y'all to do a challenge right where you are. You don't have to make plans to go on a section hike. You don't have to get your meals ready. You don't have to do all this prep. Go out in your local park, your neighborhood, wherever you are, and do a challenge, because the other day I started talking about data. And, the data is true. The data will lead you to where you need to be. And what I've learned, how y'all doing? Good. What I've learned from my data is several things so far, day 6. One is clarity about the podcast. I'm not going to stop after these 10 days. Obviously, I have to go back to work and all that good stuff, but I am going to continue to record from the trail on my long hikes on Saturday, and the podcast may not come out on Saturday morning. Maybe it just comes out on Saturday evenings. And that is part of the clarity that I'm having, is you do your best and you are your best when you're on the trail. And y'all, I am loving this. So some clarity on the podcast. And, my next clarity is I've been doing some housekeeping this week. I've been doing some spring cleaning. I've been doing some cleansing. I've been talking about my faith. I've been talking about my fears. I've been talking about my barriers. And that is helping me purge. I am just saying these things out loud, and it's working. Instead of keeping it all inside, all jumbled up. It's just like when you do spring cleaning at your house. When you decide you're going to clean the baseboards, you're going to clean out your closet, you're going to get rid of clothes you don't need anymore. One of the things that we do in the first 30 days of the Seek to Do More program is you clean out something. And I didn't realize I needed to literally just clean out my mind. Oh, you guys, I'm telling you, after my 1 mile yesterday on the way back, where I was just like, what is happening? What am I doing? Why am I breaking down? Why am I so tired? I'm exhausted because I've been getting all this junk out that's been weighing me down. So the second point of clarity is I've been housekeeping. I've been cleansing. I've been getting stuff out. And I'm not sure why I've waited so long to do this, but at this point, it is what it is. And I'm going to continue to do that with you guys. It is crazy windy, so sorry about that. That's just part of being out on the trail, right? And the third part of clarity comes from, had a conversation just out of nowhere, and it was so fitting to the way that I was feeling yesterday, and everything happens for a reason. So I got a message from a really good hiking friend of mine. It was actually a voice message on Instagram, and she relayed to me something that she is deathly scared of doing. And it is a barrier for her. And we talked about it, we messaged back and forth, and we talked about our fears. And really the moral of the conversation is, why do we do that to ourselves? Like, the only person putting fear on me is me. And the only person putting fear on my friend is her. And I don't know why we put these unnecessary expectations on ourselves. And I think as hikers we do this. And what I mean by that is, we set these goals. Oh, I'm going to hike such and such trail. I'm going to do 100 miles in the week I have off of work. I'm going to do X. And you set this goal, like 8 months out, 6 months out, and so many things change in that time frame. And for 6 to 8 months, you've put pressure on yourself that's not necessary. Yes, it's good to have goals. Yes, it's good to have challenges. Yes, it's good to have things before you, but not things that are all consuming. There's a difference between being all consumed and being all in on something. All consumed is like you're just obsessed. And believe you me, I have been all consumed. I was all consumed for 12 years completing the Appalachian Trail as a section hiker. You couldn't have told me anything. It was like, that is all I'm doing, and that is a wrap. And yeah, I finished the trail, and yeah, I'm almost done with Appalachian Trail twice, but that was not healthy because that was all consuming. It just took over everything. And I think we as hikers do that. Whether you're section hiking a trail, whether you're through hiking a trail, we become all consumed, possessed. Or I do. I should say I do. I shouldn't say everybody does, but I think a lot of people can become obsessed. And we also become obsessed on our mileage. Oh, I'm knocking down 18 miles a day. I'm knocking down 20 miles a day. When I first started this challenge, in my own mind, I was like, 5 miles a day, that's nothing. And, I already sabotaged myself before this thing even started. I was like, people are going to be like, whatever, Jester, 5 miles a day, that's nothing. Well, it's not nothing to somebody that's had their foot ripped open 3 times and you have an 8-inch scar going down the side of your foot. That's what I told myself this morning. Hiking 5 miles a day for 10 days is not nothing. And if it was hiking 10 days, hiking 3 miles, well, that's not nothing either. And when you go through a major trauma and you're trying to get back, like you're remembering yourself, like I'm remembering myself from 2015. Well, that was 9 freaking years ago. I mean, that is just ridiculous. So these are the things that are going through my brain today. And it's just clarity. It's just purging. It's just cleansing. It's just housekeeping. It's getting these things out that they're really dangerous, to hang on to. And does this mean I'm still not going to have moments? Absolutely, I'm going to have moments. May have one this afternoon. But I'm learning to walk through those moments with more and more clarity. And I guess the point I was trying to make about having the conversation with my friend is I'm not going to put unnecessary pressure on myself. And I'm not going to do things that I don't want to do. And right now, what I'm doing is exactly what I want to do. And that leads to something that James said in that message. You don't worry about anything but that day. And today I have focused on nothing but this day, this moment. And, walking this last mile back to my truck, absorbing everything I need to absorb today. And these 3 clarity points, I guess, is what I'm going to call them. Clarity about the podcast. Clarity about the fact that I have been doing housekeeping. And, clear about the fact that it's good to be all in on something, but it's bad to be all consumed and possessed. And that is not what I'm going to do anymore to myself. I'm not going to be obsessive about something, because that's not good in your life. So being all in means, yeah, I'm all in, but I'm still going to pay attention to my family. I'm still going to do what I need to do at work. I'm still going to do the learning that I want to do. And I'm still going to build relationships with my friends. I'm just not going to be obsessed about one particular thing, because for me, Jester, it is no longer healthy. And I had another clarity point that I still have work to do. I knew I still had work to do, but I still have work that I'm working on. I still want to lose more weight. I still want to get stronger. I still want to be able to go out and do these types of challenges. And in order for me to do that, everything looks different now. And what I mean by that is spending all last summer, 2-3 days a week doing physical therapy has led me to where I'm at right now. And what I'm doing right now is going to lead me to what I am going to be doing this summer. And I put undue pressure on myself, unnecessary pressure on myself by saying, I am going to the Allegheny Trail. I am going to be doing this. I am going to be doing that. Well, I may not be doing that. And that's okay too. And I'm not disappointed, because I have had so many wins. And I'm getting pumped up getting back to the car, because tomorrow is my 90th day that I started the Seek to Do More program. I started January 1st, and tomorrow is the 90th day. And I'm excited. And I'm excited for the next 90, and the next 90, or however many days. I'm excited for what's going to happen after that, or what's going to happen after this. And man, so much clarity today about the podcast, about housekeeping, just not putting unnecessary things on myself, and moving forward and continuing my goals and seeking to do more. And tomorrow is day 90 and day 7, and I can see my truck, y'all. So I am done. 30 freaking miles. Day number 6 is in the books. And today I'm going to say, do some housekeeping in your life. Get rid of things that you don't need anymore, that are holding you down, that are bringing you fear, or at least face them and start going through them, and let's do it together. So be safe out there, everybody. And as always, happy section hiking.